year I decided to tighten up my rating system. I always rate between 1 and 5 stars. These are all previous 5-star reads for me. Let's go over if I think I would still rate them 5 stars today or not. Starting off with One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I read this at the beginning of my reading journey and it was one of the first books I read in like 24 hours or less. I do think I would still give this 5 stars because I could not put it down and it pulled a lot of emotions out of me. Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I really loved and enjoyed this book. I don't think I would still give it 5 stars. I read it at a time where I hadn't had a lot of great reads, so it felt amazing, but in retrospect, I think it's more of a 4-star book for me. Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. This is a classic in my mind. I don't see it talked about a lot on Book Talk. This is an all-time favorite for me. Absolutely 5 stars and forever will be. If I could give this more than 5 stars, I would. Sunday Morning by Julie Ann. Another one I couldn't put down. I absolutely binged it. It's a very unique style of romance that pulled a lot of emotion out of me. I didn't expect to cry as much as I did. I would still give this one 5 stars. Heartless Hunter by Kristen C. Sorelli. This was my favorite fantasy book last year, and it's actually my favorite romantasy duology because the sequel Rebel Witch is out. I love this one so much. I would absolutely still give it 5 stars, and the audio narration is amazing as well. The Sweetest Oblivion. Okay, I had a really fun time while I was reading this, and I think I gave it 5 stars like for the vibes. However, I don't feel like it has enough depth that I would still give it 5 stars today. The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I actually wasn't sure if I was gonna even like this book. It was my very first historical fiction. It's what made me fall in love with historical fiction. It gave me a perspective on World War II that I had never thought about or had before. I would absolutely still give this 5 stars, and I would give this one way more if I could. The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. Now, this is so fun. Is it life-changing? No, not really, but it was such a perfect summertime book. I do think I would still give this one 5 stars because it has all the elements I'm looking for in a fun summertime rom-com. Flawless by Elsie Silver. This was my gateway into Elsie Silver books, and I would absolutely still give this one 5 stars. I love her writing so much. She's my favorite romance author of all time. Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. This is another book I read at a time where I wasn't having a lot of great reads. I needed something to pull me out of it. This was binge worthy. Would I give it 5 stars today? No, I would not. It doesn't have enough depth for it to be 5 stars for me today. The Mind F series. Now this is very unhinged and not usually the type of book I would give 5 stars. However, I would not put this down. It just had its claws gripped into me. I would still give it 5 stars today. I think it's so unique. Although this is not a literary masterpiece by any means, there is nothing else like this. It's in its own category of crazy and amazing. The Wild Ride, and I really wish I could relive this for the first time. Lastly, The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. I absolutely loved this book. Another historical fiction. This one's set in 1970s in Alaska. The journey and emotional depth on this was absolutely incredible. It wrecked me and I was like unwell for probably a week or 2 after reading it. If I could give this more than 5 stars, I would.